I love sports.
Sports.
This is the Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
Well, good afternoon and good evening, and welcome to the Sports Page here on SuperTalk, Mississippi. Y'all, we're blowing and going because this is, y'all, the first full weekend. It's community college, it's high school, it's college. We got so much stuff going on, but there's a lot of emphasis, y'all, on the high schools. So thank you for everyone who are listening to us north of us on 99.3 and south of us on 97.3 FM, east to west on the other side of Waynesboro, west on the other side of Columbia. Ooh, y'all, the hot, inclement weather is still with us, even though I think it's going to be cooler this week. But these 2 weeks of practice for all of our high schools are done, and everybody will be on the field this first official weekend. So let's give you a little bit of a rundown. And, of course, there's so much anticipation for the big game between Mississippi State and Southern Mississippi. Kickoff at 11 o'clock on Saturday. You better have a ticket by now. Yeah, you better have a ticket. It's I'm anticipating it to be sold out and it being on national television here in Hattiesburg. So on Thursday, y'all, here's some of the games that are going to be played in the high schools. And we're going to, of course, focus on the schools that are in our listing area. Ocean Springs will be at Meridian, and South Jones will be at Northeast Jones. That's on Thursday. Ocean Springs at Meridian, South Jones at Northeast Jones. South Jones and Northeast Jones have been playing on a Thursday for a long time. Maybe not every year, but it's pretty close. In Jones County, there's one game that plays on Thursday right before the Friday weekend begins. So Bay High will be at Pearl River Central. Bay Springs will be at South Pike. Boga Chitto will be at Weston. Other games, let's see. East Marion will be at West Marion. Oh, yeah, they always play the first part of the year. Goodness gracious. Enterprise Clark will be at Stringer. Forest County Agricultural High School will be at St. Stanislaus. Goshen will be at George County. Greene County is at East Central. And, of course, the Hattiesburg at Petal game. Y'all remember that game was scheduled for Saturday, but it was moved to Friday. Thank goodness that game is played on Friday because of the game on Saturday. So if you're a football fan and you're in the Hattiesburg area, you're going to have a heck of a weekend. Hattiesburg is at Petal. Other games around our area, Kosciuszko will be at Neshoba Central. Laurel at West Jones. Ooh, that's going to be a throwdown. My goodness. Lloyd Star is at Perry Central. Lumberton is at Purvis. McGee is at Mount Olive. Other games from around the area, Mize is at Taylorsville at Smith County, throwdown. My goodness. Morton is at Newton County. Oak Grove is at Starkville. The Warriors go to Starkville. Should be a really good football game. PCS is at Mobile Christian in Alabama. Pascagoula is at Moss Point. Picayune is at Gulfport. And we're praying much for them. We lost a young man down there. Sadly, just yesterday. Goodness. Quitman is at Kemper County. Raleigh is at DeIberville. Richton is at West Lincoln. Salem is at McLaurin. Scott Central at Northeast Lauderdale. Seminary is at West Lauderdale. Southeast Lauderdale is at Noxapater. Sumrall is at Collins. Tylertown is at Macomb. And Wayne County is at Williamson in Alabama. West Harrison is at Poplarville. And those are the public school games being played on Friday. In the MAIS, a number of games. Adams Christian is at Columbia Academy. Of course, you can hear inside the huddle with Coach Joey, inside the locker room with Coach Joy. That's always on Thursdays here. Other games, I'm looking at this list, y'all, and there's so many games being played here. I'm trying to isolate all the games that have been played. They're going to be played in our area. Kemper Academy will play Deer Creek. Kemper is 0-1. Newton County Academy at 1-0 is at Russell Christian. Other games from Simpson Academy is at Leake Academy. Wayne Academy is at Lamar. Now, there are several games that have Mississippi High School Activity Association and the MAIS kicking off the year. Christian Collegiate will be at St. Patrick. Sacred Heart will be at Centerville Academy. In games between the MHSAA and MAIS, Columbia will be at Hartville Academy. My goodness. And Jefferson Davis County is at MRA. Ooh, Lord. Those are really great games. And, y'all, those first games, be reminded, Wayne Academy is at Lamar. Silver Bay is at Christ Covenant. And Simpson Academy at Leake Academy. Okay, we said that. Know that all the early games, y'all, are really non-district games. And there's a lot of anticipation and everybody's pumped up. But coaches are trying to see what they have. And I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot of great attendance, a little bit of everywhere. Speaking of great attendance, there's going to be a lot of great attendance when Southern Mississippi hosts Mississippi State on Saturday at 11. Coach Huff had these comments to say about that second scrimmage, that last scrimmage that determined really the depth chart and all that good stuff, as we are just 5 days away from kickoff between a really great game between two state rivals.
We got a good group of guys that we think we can play winning football with. Obviously, with the menu that we had, it's limited, but we got a good group. We got to get more. You can't play the same guys for 60, 70 plays in a game. So this week is about developing that back half of our roster, who can go in the game in a limited role or rotational role and still execute. There were some good plays in the scrimmage, offense and defense, when you really go back and look at it. There's some plays that didn't necessarily produce execution on the field because we were thud, and you blow the whistle and then you go back and look and you probably say, yeah, you probably didn't make that tackle. Or there were some plays where they probably made some tackles and we let the ball play a little bit. So once we went back and looked at it, still a lot of detailed things to clean up, but for first scrimmage where we expected to be, we were in a good spot.
From the running back room perspective, obviously that's an ever-evolving room. You got three guys who could probably start. What do you see from them, and what do you want to continue to see from them going into this Saturday? Yeah, for us, especially when you're thud, it's hard to say he had, 200 yards rushing or 100 yards rushing or whatever. But we're looking for pace. Are you hitting your landmarks? Are you getting your shoulder square? Are you bursting through contact? Are you getting to a place on the field in the pass game where you're affecting the coverage? We saw that from the first three guys. Obviously, the younger guys are still learning. Just some of the fundamental things, keeping your shoulders square on pass pro, stepping up, being physical, not kind of waiting on, catching pass pro is something that we evaluated. There's a flow and a feel, kind of deal with running backs. When do I speed up to get to the hole? When do I slow down and let the block declare? I think the top three guys are starting to understand the flow of plays, how it's supposed to be blocked, how the linebackers or secondary guys will react, what can help put the O-lineman on a block with your mannerisms as a running back. So we saw that. There's still some things we got to get cleaned up. And then we'll go back and figure out, okay, what guys are good at what runs. Hey, this guy is good at inside zone. This guy's good at outside zone, vice versa, or whatever it may be. And then we can kind of address the issues, right? Hey, you need work on power plays. You need work on outside zone. So we got a good, kind of a base, if that makes sense. This week we can kind of go develop those deficiency areas, put a little more focus on it. Hey, a guy gets 4 or 5 reps, let's make sure those 4 or 5 reps are things that he needs to work on. I guess
Coach Charles Huff talking about his Golden Eagles as they get ready, and that was a few weeks ago when he was talking about that second scrimmage. And now it's game week now, and so you can get a lot of information if you're going to the game, y'all, to make sure you know where to park, all that good stuff, what you can take into the game, and all these kind of things. You can go to southernmiss.com. From a tailgating standpoint, all these different things is there. Now, I heard this past weekend that there are going to be so many Jackson State people coming next week. And, boy, I hope you got a ticket already, because if you don't have a ticket for that, too. So the first 2 weeks of the Golden Eagle football season, y'all, it's going to be lit, as the kids say. So if you're not going to the game, you can go to the watch it on ESPN. It's a feature game this coming weekend. But It's not going to be an environment like that. Mississippi State and Southern Mississippi know that, y'all. The last time a Southern Miss football team beat an SEC opponent at home was back in 1978. Yeah, so I mean it's been a minute, and I think this is really going to be an awesome game, and can't wait. And as a team chaplain, it's been awesome to see these young men come into being a team. They come from so many different areas and states and across the world. Really, we got kids that are were not born in the United States, but they love being here, and they've come in here to do that thing and play some football, and it's a beautiful thing to see it. So anyway, when we come back, we'll talk about what's going on at Jones. The Bobcats, they begin the year this week. The sports page here on SuperTalk Mississippi continues in just a moment.
This is the Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back to Super Talk Mississippi, y'all, and we're rolling along as we get ready for the first full week of the high school, community college, and collegiate football season here in Mississippi. My goodness, we're thrilled. And just an FYI, y'all make sure y'all know that the highway patrol and the police officials and the constables and deputies, they're going to be out. So y'all make sure you make good choices while you're driving to and fro and supporting those kids that are playing, the band, the cheerleaders, everybody. Make sure you make really good choices because they are looking for you if you're not doing the right thing, on nights like Thursday night and Friday night, especially Friday night when there's going to be so much traffic in these rural areas. Just do the right thing. Do the right thing. Speaking of someone who always does the right thing is our good friend Sean Wansley. Sean is the sports information director at Jones College. Hello, Sean. How you doing?
Hey, Mitch. How are you?
Doing really good, really good. I know, man, your soles on your tennis shoes are on fire. I know you've been running and doing stuff. Tell everybody what's been going on the campus at Jones as football season soon begins.
And there's no doubt about it. It's game week in Ellisville for sure. The Bobcats of Coach Laurel Pollard will open the 2025 season Thursday up at Moorhead against Mississippi Delta. About a 3-hour plus trip to get up there that's the first challenge, is making the long trip. But big challenge of this game is Coach Pollard, and none of us know what to expect from Delta. They had a coaching change in July. Their head coach resigned real late, obviously, in July, and they named an interim coach, Mr. Ernest Jones. He had been a head coach at Alcorn a while back. So we're just going to show up and see what happens on a Thursday night. But I think Coach Pollard's he's more concerned about the Bobcats and how they approach the game, how they react to the long road trip and that type of thing. Got pretty good mix of freshmen and sophomores, but really a lot of new guys will be hitting the field Thursday night for the first time. So going to be fun. Hopefully these temps will stay a little bit cooler like they've been today. The humidity will be a bit less. So, it's just a long trip up there, and you just never know how these young men are going to react. But I think everybody on the roster, all the players and coaches, I think they feel real good about going into this ball game.
So, Sean, what are the strengths of this football team? I mean, in just looking at it from your angle, what will be some of the strengths, and what can people look forward to as they look at Coach Pollard's debut as the head coach at Jones?
Well, Coach Pollard had told me a couple of weeks ago he thought the defensive line would be a strong point. A lot of new guys there, Isaiah Lindsey, lunch meat, they call him, out of West Jones.
Lunch meat.
Old lunch meat. He's a hybrid guy. He can play linebacker or on the line. DE, he's back. He's about our only guy back with experience there, but got a couple of big dudes that transferred in from D1 colleges. Bryston Dixon, he's a young man that was at South Alabama last year. He was at Georgia Tech 2 years ago. 6'5", 330 pounds, out of McIntosh, Alabama. I think they're really high on this young man. And another transfer from McNeese State, Diego Spears. They list him as 6 feet tall, about 270 pounds. One more big transfer in the line, Zion Tremont, 6'5", 311 pounds. He transferred in from Southwest Mississippi. So Coach Pollard, he thinks the DL can be really good. We got Cam Toney, another young man from West Jones. He's back at a linebacker position. We got some experience in the secondary. Tyrese Holloway out of Bay Springs. On the offensive side, Cannon Crowder out of PCS is at quarterback. He had some experience from last year. Javarian Glover, a young man they really, really like, out of Amanda Elsie High School in the Delta. He put up great numbers in high school. He's about 6'4", 200, standing prospect there. Two really good running backs returning, Kobe Kraft out of Taylorsville, Kyon Harris out of Union, and a young man they also really excited about at receiver, J.Q. Gray. He's a Southern Miss transfer, played at Oak Grove. He's not big, only 5'8", 160, but when he gets the ball in space, he is a difficult young man to corral. And also our place kicker, Christian Baglioni, is back. Our deep snapper, William Hodges, is back. And Luke Edwards, he was a kicker at Southern Miss last year. He's going to be our kickoff guy and our punter. So Coach Pollard likes the experience of the specialists. So a lot of good things to look for from this Bobcat team.
Y'all listen to Sean Wansley, Sports Information Director at Jones College, and we've been talking football, but I saw just a little bit ago that the volleyball team's up and swinging and winning games, and then, of course, you got soccer. So, my goodness, it's just not football season at Jones. Give us an update, Sean, about what's happening with those Lady Bobcats.
Yeah, on the soccer front, Coach Dolores Deasley's team had a very good road trip to Indiana. They opened the season with wins over two ranked teams. They defeated the can't remember the name of the school offhand. Northeast Nebraska beat them 1-0 on Friday. Northeast, number 16 in the nation, and then they came back and beat Schoolcraft, Michigan, number 18 in the nation, 3-0 on Saturday. So a good start for Coach D's team. They host Delta State Wednesday in an exhibition match on campus at 6, and they play a Division III school, the number 3 team in Division III, Dallas College Brookhaven out of Texas. They will play them Friday in Ridgeland, Mississippi. Our men's team had a tough go. They went 0-2 in Indiana. They lost to Heartland, Illinois, 3-1, and to Western Iowa Tech, 1-0. And they will play another long road trip for our men's team. They go to Georgia and play Georgia Military on Saturday and Andrew College on Sunday. So a long trip for them. And you mentioned volleyball. The Bobcats open the season today. Coach John Dusoy's team, they went over to Selma, played Wallace State Selma in a convincing victory over
Wallace
there. They went,
State.
3-0 in sets, 25-9, 25-13, and 25-11. Coach Deuce, I think, is pretty high on this team. A lot of young ladies back from last year, the first year of the program, when they had such a great year and won the region and came within a match of going to nationals, which would have been amazing in that first year. And on volleyball, they will be at home on Wednesday at 6 at A.B. Howard Gymnasium hosting Mississippi Gulf Coast. It'll be a conference match right off the bat. Of course, Gulf Coast is in their first year of volleyball. And one other sport that's underway here in the fall, the Coach Bob Harrington's golf team.
Yeah.
They're playing up in Holly Springs at the Northwest Ranger Invitational today and tomorrow, and they had a good first day. Jones is in third place, I believe, out of 12 teams. They are plus 17, a shot behind Calhoun, Alabama, who's at plus 16 East Central Community College is in the lead there at +7. So a third-place finish after day one. So looks like they have a great chance to have a really good start for Coach Harrington's team. So everything's hitting all at once right now.
My goodness, it's a whole lot: golf, volleyball, soccer, and football. And then, of course, I mean, you've not been in school for a long, long time, so you got that atmosphere and environment is, I'm sure, is jumping in Ellisville. Anything else you want to add, Sean, and tell how everybody they can kind of keep up with what's going on at Jones, especially, with Jones playing way up there in the Delta on Thursday.
That's right. To keep up with that game, you can follow us on X or watch the game at jcbobcats.com/watch. Mention really quickly, we held our Jamboree Friday, the high school Jamboree.
Yeah, how was that?
And that was very good. A lot of compliments. A lot of coaches and officials really enjoyed it. I think we're certainly going to do it again next year. Very good crowds for those games. We're playing there at 2 o'clock, started at 2 o'clock Friday afternoon. It wasn't nearly as hot as I thought it was going to be. We had some overcast skies a lot, and the wind was blowing, so it was pretty comfortable. That went really, really well, and I think we're certainly going to do that again next year. And as far as keeping up with the Bobcats, our main site, jcbobcats.com, schedules, rosters, scores are listed all over that site, and you can go to X, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram and search Jones College Athletics and keep up to date with the Bobcats, and follow us Thursday night when we're on the road to Moorhead to play the Trojans.
My goodness. Well, Sean, we look forward to that update. Same time, same place next week, my friend. Thank you.
All right, Mitch. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Know that y'all, my goodness, thank you, Sean. Know that you can get a lot of football information here on these radio stations. Of course, I mean, we're here. Our community radio program is always on Monday. And then it's Inside Pedal Football is on Tuesdays. And then Inside the Locker Room is on Thursdays. Of course, high school football both on 97.3 and 99.3. 97.3, of course, the Pedal Panthers. The home of the Pedal Panthers is here at SuperTalk. And then there's the Jones County Game of the Week that's on 99.3. So you have all of that that's going on. And then, of course, you have Ole Miss football on Saturdays. We want you to go to the Southern Mississippi State game. How about that on Saturday? How about that? When we come back, we're going to talk about another big game that's going to be happening down the road in Poplarville. We'll talk to Dylan Dunaway, the Sports Information Director at Pearl River, when we come back.
This is The Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
Thursday this week, so we'll get some good work there. And then, obviously, quarterback-wise, we'll communicate that once we've talked through that with everyone associated with that decision. And so we'll go through that process in the next little bit. And so we'll communicate that with you guys once the appropriate time reaches it. So open up for discussion.
So you made a decision on the quarterback, but you're not announcing it yet?
No, we're talking through. We'll talk through that stuff, and then we'll get there.
Saints head coach Kellen Moore talking about the ongoing quarterback situation in New Orleans. Who will start for the Saints? Second-year pro Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuff? Who will start between the tall rookie or Spencer Rattler, who is run and throws? We'll see. The Saints open up against Arizona on Sunday, September 7th at noon in the Superdome. My goodness. Welcome back to the Sports Page. And, y'all, we got a busy weekend as we head into Labor Day. And of course, there's a lot of things going on down by the river, down there in Poplarville. With us is the Sports Information Director at Pearl River, our good friend Dylan Dunaway. Hello, Dylan. How you doing?
Hey, Mitchell, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing all right. I know you busy. Good gracious, so much stuff going on this first week. So Pearl River football and some other stuff. Give everybody the lowdown on what's happening with the Wildcats this week.
Yeah, you're not wrong at all. It's getting busy, that's for sure. It's hard to believe that we're already kicked off with everything and getting into the football season is a few days away. But man, what a great start to the year for Pearl River. Last week we kicked off men's soccer and women's soccer, and volleyball started, and we had a perfect week on our courts and respective fields. So that was really cool to see. Women's soccer started the week. They're number 15 in the country right now. They went and played the number 20 team in the country, and they won that game. But it's easy. You can't really just say they just won it, but they beat them 8-1. The number 20 team in the country. They scored 8 goals on. So that tells you the kind of talent that Coach Madsen and his Wildcats have this year. One of the groups that they felt the best about that they've ever had. It's really, really deep. It is a young team, but they really, really love the talent of that team. So that just shows you. The depth they have in the attack and in the midfield. And then you move to soccer, men's soccer. We started yesterday, and they didn't take it easily with an easy opponent either. They played number 9 Johnson County yesterday, actually. We played an early morning match at 10 a.m. Played the number 9 team in the country. We're the number 8 team, and we managed to come away with a 3-0 victory in that one. Coach Drew Gallant, they're fresh off back-to-back Gulf South District Championships, and it looks like, based on the start to yesterday, that they may have a chance to make it interesting again and try to make another run for nationals. It really was a special day yesterday watching them finally get out there and play somebody that wasn't a 4-year school, because that's all they've done so far. And then the volleyball team, we went 3-0 last week, started the week with a sweep of Bishop State. And then we hosted a tri-match on Saturday, and we swept Coastal Alabama, and we followed it up with a big-time, fun, exciting game against East Central, who is a new program to volleyball in the state of Mississippi. That one was a 5-set thriller. The Wildcats went down 2-1, but came back and won that one with two sets at the end. So, man, what an exciting week it was last year as we kicked off the athletic year.
Y'all are listening to Dylan Dunaway, Sports Information Director at Pearl River Community College, y'all, and we're talking sports during the fall, and, of course, folks are talking football. Tell us what the Wildcats are going to be doing this week.
Yeah, we're going to kick off our football season on Thursday, as is everybody else around the league. We don't have it easy to start off. Last year we had to go on the road and play number 7 Northwest. Well, this year we're going to host Northwest, but this time they're number 3 in the country. So, we don't get to start off things easily. We're going to have a really, really good team come down to Dovey Holden Stadium on Thursday at 7 p.m. And they're going to get after it. I know Coach Smith is excited to host them. We're excited to begin our season at home. It seems like every year we've been on the road lately to start the year. But Northwest is a really good team. I know Coach Smith and his assistant coaches all feel like this is one of their best teams they've ever had, that it's one of their deepest teams they've ever had. And we just know that, they're excited to get out there and, stop hitting each other and start hitting somebody else. It gets old when you're practicing against your teammates for months, and I know they're ready to get after another team.
Tell you what, it's amazing. I am just so humbled how all these teams, they work out in this inclement hot weather, and then, the league that you guys compete in. I mean, you got to be ready. It don't really matter who you guys play. I think week to week in Mississippi's Community College League, anybody can beat you. And I think it's awesome to see these kids do what they do and how they go about their way of doing those things. So tell us a little bit about how you guys are going to get information to people, from volleyball and soccer and football this week and going into the fall.
Yeah, everything is handy right there on our athletics website, prccathletics.com. It'll have your scores, it'll have your schedules. For football, we'll be doing live stats. So if you can't watch the live stream at prccmedia.com, you can go on our website and find the live stats, find out what the score is, who's doing what. If you go to any of our social channels, you'll find score updates or information about the game. So it's all out there and readily available. Of course, we'd love to see you at our games, and you could get those tickets at prccathletics.com/tickets. We hope to have an exciting brand of football this year. We know we have some exciting soccer and volleyball already. So a lot of ways to keep up with the Wildcats and watch the Wildcats this year.
My goodness. Well, Dylan, thank you, man. Thank you for just being with us and getting us these updates. And know that last week, we had the coach with eSports. I mean, and that was cool like crazy. My goodness.
Yeah.
That's amazing how that's growing. And then that y'all got a facility down there that makes all that happen.
Yeah, we're extremely lucky. I know Coach Roderick is really excited about the team that he has pulled together and the facility that we're able to house these athletes in. It is special.
Well, Dylan, thank you, man. Hopefully we get to talk to you really, really soon and know we're just one phone call away. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mitchell.
Dylan Dunaway, y'all, the Sports Information Director at Pearl River, giving us an update. And the Wildcats, y'all, they got to play the number 3 ranked team in America off the jump on Thursday. Know, y'all, that there are going to be some high school games played on Thursday, but there are going to be all the community college teams that have football squads will be playing on Thursday in our state. And then the rest of all of our high schools across Mississippi will begin their seasons on Friday. And, y'all, they've only had like 2 weeks to kind of prepare for this thing because of the rules, and it's been so hot, and they've had to abide by temperature on the field and all this good stuff. And you know what the blessing is? Here's the blessing. So far, we did not lose one kid because they were not hydrated or what. I mean, we got to the beginning of the football season, and y'all, that has not always been the case in years past. And I'm thanking the Mississippi High School Activities Association, the Mississippi Association of Coaches, the folks that help us, especially locally, Southern Bone and Joint, Hattiesburg Clinic, all the folks, South Central and Laurel. They're really awesome folk down there. So I'm just so grateful that they serve our schools, and it's just not football. It's kids that are playing these fall and these spring sports, and they're all out in this weather. They're all out in it. So so grateful that that they're doing these things. And then, of course, our coaches are trained now to know some of the, some of the things that could be pitfalls as they get ready to go into a new high school season. Speaking of that, I want to remind everybody that Petal High School football is on Friday here on SuperTalk Mississippi on 97.3. The Jones County Game of the Week is on 99.3. And then know that Inside Petal Football, Coach Marcus Boyles, one of the great coaches. I love the man. He is his show is on Tuesdays here. And then Inside the Locker Room with Coach Joey, that's on Thursday. And then, of course, we're here on Mondays. And, of course, y'all, on the games on Friday, they're always there's going to be a scoreboard show after that, okay? So you can always, if you're riding and going to and fro, you can always get the high school scores on the way. So the MAIS games, y'all, that will be played on Friday. Locally, Adams Christian will be at Columbia Academy. Heritage Academy will be at Winston Academy. Kemper Academy will be at Deer Creek. Newton County Academy will be at Russell Christian. Simpson Academy at Leake Academy. Tensas at Prentice Christian. Wayne Academy at Lamar School. Now, some of the MAIS schools are playing MHSAA schools, and those games will be on Friday as well. They include Columbia. Welcome back, Coach Bilderback. They'll be at Hartfield Academy. Of course, Hartfield Academy is I think 2 or 3 time state champion in MAIS football. Jefferson Davis County will be at MRA, and Sacred Heart will be at Centerville Academy. So we might have some time to talk about all the public school matchups. The biggest one, of course, everybody's talking about Hattiesburg at Petal. And again, and then, of course, y'all know that Northeast Jones and South Jones play on Thursday. Big game. And we want to really remind everybody again that if you're going you're going to see your kid or your neighbor's kid, or you're going to support somebody that's in the band, please be careful. Those men and women that protect us, Highway Patrol, the police departments, the sheriffs, the constables and deputies, they're going to be out there. They're going to be out there, and they're there to protect us. So make sure you make good decisions going to and fro. And I know it's the first week, and everybody's excited and amped up about this and that. But we want to make sure that you can get there safely and get home safely, and enjoy the experience of supporting a wonderful young student who loves a ball or can play the drums or really get out there and do what they do under the lights. And it's just beautiful to see it. And it's nothing like Mississippi on Friday nights. We cover them for 27 years when we're in television at WDAM, and it's nothing like it. And I used to drive to and fro and talk to a buddy of mine, going from what, because sometimes you don't know if you're going to be dodging a deer or armadillo or what in these back roads. But we got there. The concession stands at places were just awesome. That's the part sometimes, I think about. But, the one thing about serving an FCA, you still can go and see the wonderful folks. When we come back, we'll cross the T and dot the I when the sports page continues in just a moment.
This is The Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 Super Talk, Mississippi.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Super Talk, Mississippi. You know that Crusader Talk, y'all, is at the top of the hour. It's a tape version, but you're going to enjoy it. Update on what's happening with William Carey Athletics, always on 97.3 SuperTalk, Hattiesburg.com. You can learn more about the Crusaders. And y'all know they got 17 different sports at Carey. It's awesome what they do over there. All right, so let me give you a quick rundown again. South Jones at Northeast Jones on Thursday, everybody. And then some of the games around the area. Bay Springs is at South Pike. We can tell you that it'll be Enterprise Lincoln at North Forest, Enterprise Clark at Stringer, Goshays at George County, Greene County is at East Central, Hattiesburg is at Petal. That game can be heard here on 97.3, the home of Petal High football. Laurel is at West Jones. That's going to be a really, really great game. That might be the Jones County game of the week. I don't know if it is, but it might be. Lawrence County is at Brookhaven. McGee is at Mount Olive. Mize is at Taylorsville. A lot of great games. Let's see. Picayune is at Gulfport. Wow. Some really awesome games. Raleigh at D'Iberville. Richmond at West Lincoln. Salem is at McLaurin. Seminary at West Lauderdale. Southeast Lauderdale at Noxapater. Sumrall is at Collins. That should be a really good game. Wayne County is at Williamson, Alabama. West Harrison is at Poplarville. And know that there's some really good games in the MHSAA and the MAIS. Columbia, y'all, will be at Hartfield Academy, and Jefferson Davis County will be at MRA. Those are just some of the games. Simpson Academy at Leake Academy. There's a lot of them. So make sure that you listen to high school football on Friday, both on 97.3 and 99.3 FM. And then, of course, it's the high school scoreboard show that will follow thereafter. Before we get out, we want to thank Heritage Church right down the road from the studios here. They were there. We had a men's conference there, and they had 134 men. Great steaks cooked by Brother Cameron Kleckler, good friend of ours, and invited us to be there. And Pastor Scott Jones, my good friend, Pastor Joyner, Pastor John, and they were awesome and wonderful. I mean, the men, they just got behind it, and it's going to grow. Really had a whole bunch of awesome men in the place. Thank y'all for having us on Friday. And then on Sunday, we were at Prentice First Baptist Church with Pastor Ronnie Barnes and my good friend who is just so awesome. And he's an author, he's a former judge, and he's a pastor of that wonderful church right down the street from Prentice Institute down there. And enjoyed our time down there and got to talk to some wonderful folks. So FCA is so thankful for the invitations to be at both those churches. And we visited, 4 churches, I guess. Ooh, Lord, in the last 3 weeks, I've been Venture, West Point, Heritage Church, and then at Prentice First Baptist, and it was awesome. And I'm sure we'll be visiting some other ones. If you want to know more about FCA, go to FCA of Southeast Mississippi on Facebook. It's updated. Y'all can see all them huddles. So many huddles on that Facebook that's updated almost every day. And then you want to know more about us, go to our website at southeastmsfca.org, southeastmsfca.org. And then we're on Instagram. And then if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm SPOTESFCA, at SPOTESFCA. And we got stuff over there. We retweet stuff. So love to have you. All right. As we head into this big football weekend, I saw this. It said this. This is Mark 10:27. It said, looking at them, Jesus said, with men it is impossible, but not with God, because all things are possible with God. Wow. Big dreams. Yeah. All these kids that are out playing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, they got big dreams, y'all. Big old dreams. You can dream big dreams, but you can never outdream God. His plans for you are even bigger than you can imagine. I know that's right. Big dreams. Are you willing to entertain the possibility that God has big plans in store for you? Hopefully. Yet sometimes, especially if you've recently experienced a life-altering disappointment, you may find it really difficult to envision a brighter future for yourself and your family. If so, it's time to reconsider your own capabilities and the Lord's. You know, it takes courage to dream big dreams, doesn't it? You will discover that courage when you do three things: accept the past, trust God to handle the future, and make the most of the time He's given you today. Yeah. Nothing is too difficult for God. You cannot outdream the Lord. John Maxwell said, if you want to reach your potential, you need to add a strong work ethic to your talent. Rick Warren says, great opportunities often disguise themselves in small tasks. And then Bill Bright said this, set goals so big that unless God helps you, you'll be a miserable failure. Wow. Well, those are some things to sit on. Have big dreams, y'all. Have big, big dreams, because it ain't impossible with the Lord. From all of us to all of you, we hope that you have an awesome and incredible week. Man, go see a ball game Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. The big one, Mississippi State at Southern Miss at 11 o'clock. We're going to be there. Hope you will be too. Hope to talk to you same time, same place next week. Take care. God bless.